order this meeting of the Cedarburg Board of Education. This is a regular board meeting, and we will also be meeting as a committee of the whole in the board conference room, September 17th, 2014 at 7 p.m. And this meeting is a regular meeting and has been noticed in the district, and additional copies of that notice were forwarded to the News Graphic and Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. And I'd like if everyone could please stand and join me for our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next we have resolutions and recognitions. Mr. Meisner.
First of all, congratulations to the following on being named National Merit Semifinalists: Nikki Moe, Jacob Noel, Eric Richardson, Phoenix Rodman, Stuart Strobel. The finalists will be announced in February. And then we also have National School Bus Safety Week, which is October 20th through the 24th, excuse me. And the resolution is, whereas according to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, yellow school buses are the safest possible vehicles, considering the many miles and travel conditions that buses undergo in transporting children, and whereas drivers must stop 20 feet or more from any school bus that has stopped and is flashing red warning lights, and whereas there are a number of safety features built into school buses to absorb a big impact, to sustain a rollover, and to cushion children between the seats in the event of a crash or a sudden stop. And whereas motorists should be reminded about their role in ensuring the safety of children who are walking, bicycling, and getting off and on school buses. Now therefore, the Cedarburg School District Board of Education hereby proclaims October 20th to the 24th, 2014 as Wisconsin School Bus Safety Week.
Thank you. Is there anyone that would like to address the Board of Education on any topic? Over? Okay. I'm just going to read a disclaimer and then you can come on up. In the past, the State Attorney General issued guidance on how governmental bodies, such as school boards, should conduct the public comment portions of their meetings. This guidance was given to assist the governmental bodies in avoiding violations of the state's open meeting laws. The essence of the guidance is that unless the topic being brought to the board by the public is listed on that meeting's agenda, no significant discussion can be held on that item. Instead, the topic may be listed as an item on a future meeting agenda, whereby discussion could then be held. The reason for this guidance is not to limit open discussion, but rather to ensure that all interested parties have an equal opportunity to participate in the discussions with the full school board. We on the school board encourage community input, and we want to hear from you, our constituents. However, we also take the state's open meeting laws seriously and will follow the guidance as outlined by the State Attorney General. Therefore, if an item is listed on tonight's agenda, open dialogue may occur between the individual from the public and the board members. If it is not listed, the board will be limited to listening only and will not be able to respond to comments or questions. If your item is not listed on tonight's agenda and you want to have discussion regarding the topic, you are encouraged to contact the district superintendent and request that your item be listed on a future meeting agenda. As always, you are also encouraged to discuss any issue with individual board members on a one-on-one basis outside the meeting setting. Please make your comments to the board and not to any individuals in the audience. Please note that this is a public meeting and we ask everyone to address one another with the courtesy and respect you would like to receive in return. When you approach the microphone, please state your name and address for the record. And as a reminder, this will be broadcast on the YouTube channel. Thanks.
Kayla Hawes, Franklin Avenue. I come to invite the school board and all the community on behalf of Protect Your Child's Future. We are a grassroots, not-for-profit, nonpartisan, statewide parents and grandparents dedicated to our children's education and future. Our rally will be October 5th, Sunday, for all you Packer people. There's no Packer game. But it's to hear the experts in their fields discuss the Common Core state standards with Dr. Sandra Stotsky, Dr. Gary Thompson. I'll be handing out flyers to everybody. So hopefully this will fit into your guys' schedule, and there will be questions at the end. So if you're for Common Core, against Common Core, we welcome all. It's an open discussion at the all to settle some questions people may have about it. Next, I would like to bring up some handouts they have, and according to the park CEO Laura Slover, the high quality assessments go hand in hand with high quality instruction based on high quality standards. You cannot have one without the other. The park states see quality assessments as part of instruction, not a break from instruction. The federally funded partnership for assessment of readiness for college and careers park, a Common Core Assessment Consortium, issued a press release Friday that confirmed the Common Core standards and their associated tests are intended to drive curriculum. I don't know where the board is with the Common Core, but I just have these handouts to take a look at that. Indeed, the curriculum does drive the tests that we were talking about earlier this year. So I have a handout for you guys for that. Also, I'd like to address the AP US History course, and I request that the instruction committee take a close look at the new AP History course, and I have a handout on that. I urge you to discuss course changes with the teacher, compare the framework and curriculum with the previous course. Recognize that the framework is all about identity group grievances, and pay attention to what is not included as well as what is included. Furthermore, I suggest you discuss it as a topic in an instruction committee meeting. And notice that if you compare the previous course with the new framework, I think you'll see that this is not a revised course, it's a new course. So I'm also leaving you with these comments and relevant links to significant documents on this matter. And I hope you guys will give this full consideration. And I'm not sure where the district is at with the adopting next generation science standards with their strong bias towards climate change and evolution. And based on that, what would be the school board's view based on that same type of framework with the AP course. So I'm going to leave you with my handouts and for the next person.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Anyone else at all? All right. Dr. Anderson, the consent agenda.
The items on the consent agenda include the minutes from the annual budget hearing meeting, August 20th, minutes of the regular board meeting, August 20th, budget and finance. Any questions, you can entertain those at this time. And at the end of the consent agenda is the personnel report. I'd like to ask Conrad if he would please read the recommendations on the personnel report.
We have a number of retirements and resignations and hires for the board to approve this evening. First, starting with professional resignation, Addie Dagenhart resigned as a teacher at the high school. And we had a number of classified employees also separate from the district. Shannon Bohannon, Heather Keller, Helen Lane, Monique Luckett, Judy Staton. In addition, we had some transfers. Heather McKittrick transferred to the attendance secretary at the high school. Kim Mitchick to the office aide at the high school, and Amy Radke transferred to assistant principal secretary at Webster. Professional positions that we're asking for contract approval this evening are a full-time contract for Luke Lechner, tech ed teacher at the high school, Wendy Paulishin, English teacher at the high school, part-time contract for Paul Smith, social studies teacher at the high school, Michelle Struck, reading teacher at Parkview, and this letter B should be a part-time contract for Mike Stadelska as tech ed teacher at the high school. Then we've also added a number of support staff. Jennifer Appel at the high school. Shannon, we won't bring her for a hire since she just resigned. Erica Campbell, Ada Thorson, Nicole Kofta, para at Webster, Stacy Dopke, aide at Webster, Laura Gontarski, para at Thorson, Heidi Hansen, para at Cedarburg High School, Laura Hensel, student supervisor at the high school, Karen Hershenson, para at Thorson, Carla Hugo, para at the high school, Amy Knippel, student supervisor at the high school, Lindsay Amaro, counseling secretary at the high school, John Reich, student supervisor at the high school, Linda Stronsky, aide at Parkview, Nicholas Van Wagenen, para at Thorson, Kaylee Weinberg, para at Parkview, and Corey Weigerling, an aide at Parkview. We ask for the board's approval.
Would you like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
And just to be clear, Rick, that is changing item B to part-time from full-time and omitting II in the classified employee.
Correct, it's as amended.
And that's the second, Jeff? You second that, Jeff, again?
You did.
Oh, did.
Yeah, I'll second it again.
All right. Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Now on to reports and recommendations.
First item, administration recommends that the board accept a $500 donation from Pam Otto to be used by the Cedarburg High School Engineering Club for the robotics program. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Against, motion carries.
Next item is bringing closure to the year-plus-long process of reviewing the physical performance program. Again, I want to thank the board for the tremendous amount of input that you provided during the process, as well as staff last year, and to be able to come to this point. From last month's meeting, when this was approved for first reading, there have been no changes, and no changes have been suggested by the board. Recommending approval this evening. After if action is taken this evening, the meetings, there will be 4 meetings with staff within 2 weeks, I think, Ian, right? To be able to share the information in this document with staff in terms of implementation, so we can be as clear as we possibly can in terms of blending the pay system with the new evaluation system under educator effectiveness. So I'm recommending approval this evening.
I move it.
I'll second it.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries unanimously. All right, superintendent notes.
The only item is a great celebration, and I'm going to ask Todd, if he would, to be able to provide this announcement.
Sure. Board members, you don't need to move. I'm just adding this as a backdrop since we're talking about Parkview. And I have some music to go with. So it's a great opportunity for me to have the pleasure of talking a little bit about Parkview and the accomplishment of the staff and the students, the parents, and certainly the administration. Parkview has been recognized this year to receive 2 Title I awards. Title I is a federal program that allows schools access to money based on the socioeconomic status of their students, and those dollars are to be used for students to address their needs in math and reading. And Parkview was one of 8 schools in the state to receive the high achieving school recognition to the Department of Public Instruction. They were able to meet the annual measurable objectives, both in math and reading, and show evidence of reducing the gaps that were greater than 3% of students who were serviced by Title I. In addition, they received a second recognition by the DPI, and that was for High Progress School. And to receive that recognition, they had to be one of the top 10 schools in the state, top 10% schools in the state, receiving Title I funds, show growth in reading and math, working with the Title I students. So I'm extremely proud of the work that Jane and the staff has done over there. And I invite Jane down to say a few words about her staff. And while she's coming down, I'm just going to continue to acknowledge one additional accolade that back in June, Parkview was also recognized as a positive behavioral intervention and supports school. They are one of 195 schools in the state that received this merit award. And it was through an application process where the DPI was looking at data, systems, practices, outcomes, and through their screening process, the DPI acknowledged Parkview being one of PBI's merit schools in the state in 2005. So I'd like to congratulate Jane and the Parkview staff.
Well, I'm just happy.
I can pause the music for you, Jen.
I would like to recognize Parkview staff members who are here today. If you could just wave. Mary Jo Canham actually is one of the staff members who wrote the application for the PBIS School of Recognition Award. We know that all of our Cedarburg schools, we do really great things every day with kids. And sometimes we get surprised and the state recognizes us, such as for the Title I High Achieving and High Progress Award. But others like the PBIS recognition, we had to fill out an application and share all the things that were happening at Parkview School. So thank you to Mary Jo Canham and Barb Coons for writing that application, which we were very glad to receive. And then to all of the Parkview teachers who worked really, really hard. And teaching has changed dramatically since I started some 25 years ago. But it used to be much more of the art, and it's become so much more scientific. And the Parkview staff they do a phenomenal job of looking at student data, individual data, and planning instruction to meet those needs. And I believe that's why we were the recipients of the Title I award. So thank you, everybody. And Taj, how'd you know that was my opening day faculty meeting song?
What was it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put the music back on for Chris? All right, at this point, I will take a motion so that we may adjourn into committee of a whole to discuss several issues. You are all welcome to join us in the board conference room down the hall.
I'll move that we adjourn in committee of the whole.
Second.